Hey everybody, it's Garrett here. I just wanted to put out a quick video on what I do to start my Japanese black pine seeds. I purchased the seeds online. On Amazon I purchased an aftermarket AeroGarden hydroponic system, and that's what I use to start my seeds with at home indoors. And basically it's like a peat sponge that the seeds start out in, and then it grows in the water, but the system has a light on top that keeps it lit, and then it's got a water base that the pump circulates water every so often, and then you can add nutrients to the water and then it grows from there. But what I do is when they get a certain height, I take them out of the hydroponic system and transplant them into a regular pot outside so they can just grow outdoors. But I'm going to go over the process of what I do to transplant them into the containers for outdoor growing. This Japanese black pine is a few months old, and I'm seeing a lot of root growth out of the sponge, so I think it's a good time for me to put it outside and then start a new seed in the system. This Japanese black pine is about 4 inches tall at the moment. I could keep the tree in the system indoors longer, but what I do is use that system to keep growing seeds and transplanting them outside. So the purpose that I bought the system for is seed starting indoors. And if you wanted to keep it indoors in your own system, you can definitely do that. But for me, I'm just transplanting it outside. Alright, so I have my Japanese black pine that I started out in my hydroponic system inside. Look at how long the roots are. This was growing just straight in water. So I bought this bowl at the dollar store and I drilled a hole in it for drainage, and I think it looks cool. So I'm going to put my black pine in this pot here. I cut out a piece of spare pool screen that I had when I rescreened the pool. You could use any mesh substance, but you basically want to cover the hole here so nothing gets out. Got a little bit of bonsai soil that I'm going to put on the bottom just to help promote better drainage in the pot here. So I'm going to just put a little bit there over the net and keep it in place. The medium I'm going to be using is straight up Akadama bonsai Japanese soil. But what I'm going to do is wrap the root ball with sphagnum moss. That way it kind of helps the root system stay moist in the hot Florida heat here. So I'm going to show you how I do. Alright, first what I'm going to do is take some wet sphagnum moss and just layer the bottom of it. Just like that. And then I'm going to pack it down tightly against the drainage layer rocks that I put in there. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and take the seed pod out of the plastic container tray here by sliding it up very carefully because I don't want to damage the roots. Wow, look how big this root is. Now since this root is so long, I'm going to kind of like coil it around the sphagnum moss and then place the pod in the center just like that. Look at those roots. Now what I'm going to do is take some more sphagnum moss and then cover the roots with it. I just want to put enough to where the seed pod can stand up on its own. That way I don't have to hold it. Don't pack it in too tightly right now because you don't want to damage these big roots. Just tamp it down a little bit so it can stand up on its own, just like that. Now I'm going to take my Akadama soil and just sprinkle it so it covers the sphagnum moss. Just about like that. Now I'm going to lightly pack it down. Now I'm going to sprinkle slow release fertilizer around the base here. That way the tree gets fed. Just like that. And then now I can go ahead and fill it up to the base of the tree with the Akadama. And then now I'm going to go ahead and fill in the spaces and pack it down. There, and then now that you have enough soil that you want, you can go ahead and water it in all the way. And then now with these seed pods, you can clean them up, and Amazon and places like that sell the new peat sponges for them, so you can just clean these and reuse them so you don't have to keep buying them. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you learned something about transplanting from the indoor hydroponic systems to an outdoor container. It's easy, it's not hard. You just have to research your area on what type of soil is best for the plant that you're actually transplanting outside.